Good morning, everyone. So I'm just going to get ready, but I'm going to chat with you about something that I noticed the other day. I know that you probably shouldn't do this, but I've been sort of reading. Sometimes I'll read the comments underneath a post or a video just to see what people are thinking about the thing, and it's really interesting because it gives you. Of course, not every single person is commenting, so you don't get every single person's opinion, but you do get a good insight into sort of where people's mindsets are at. And so there was this, I guess I would call her an influencer, and she lives a pretty luxe life. She is doing really well for herself, and that's definitely something to be celebrated. I think if you have worked hard for your success and you have achieved a level of success, that's amazing, and you should 100% celebrate that, and you should like anyone, if you have level of success, you should enjoy it. That's what everyone is working so hard for, is it not? We're working hard so that we can accomplish our goals and live the life that we want, and manifest the life of our dreams, and so on and so forth. So anyways, I guess her brand is built on being a luxury brand. That's nothing new to it. And so her house that she was living in, the hot water or the heating or something had broken, and where she lives it's cold, and so obviously if you live somewhere and it's cold and the heating in your house breaks, you're probably not going to want to stay in the house while the heating's not working. And so her and her husband, they went and booked a really I guess a really expensive hotel, but this is a hotel that they have a relationship with. They've done collaborations with them. So I mean, it would just make sense to me, if your house's heating is broken and you are living somewhere cold, of course you would want to stay somewhere comfortable, and why not make the best of a bad situation? If you can't stay in your house and you have the means to do so, why wouldn't you turn it into a little staycation and really just make the most of it? Why would you not do that if you had the funds and the resources available to you? That just makes sense to me. And she posted about it online, and people just absolutely lost it. People were just kind of almost not making fun of her, but they were just kind of being they were just kind of almost being really derogatory towards her about her doing that. And I was just so confused, because the thing that we know about cultivating an abundance mindset is also your mind will never let you have something that you your mind will never let you become something you hate. So if you have in your head that you're resentful of people with lots of money, you're just super salty about it, you're just angry at someone for using their own resources to do something to make their own life better, which is really the headline should read rich person spends their own money, and somehow this outrages the people. And I just think, your mind is never going to let you become something that you hate. So if you're out there cultivating all this hatred and this resentment and this anger towards someone who has succeeded in her life and has achieved what she's been working towards and has the resources to go and just make her life better, take care of herself in a way that feels good for herself, you're going to resent herself for it. Your mind is never going to allow you to become that thing. And it also is you are using all of this energy to hate on someone for having something that you don't have, but you probably say that you want to have, but you're not showing your mind that you want that thing. Because if you start showing your mind that rich people are going to be hated, they're going to do stuff and they're going to get called out for it, you're going to be resented for it, then you're really just showing your mind that it's not safe to have these things because of exactly how you're acting. So your mind will really ensure that you never have those things, because your mind wants to ensure that you stay connected to other people. It wants to ensure that you don't get rejected from your group, because that's what human beings need to survive. So in doing this, you're really cutting yourself off from the ability to ever have that. And of course, like, I want to acknowledge, like, sometimes I think mainstream manifestation, it does really ignore, like you don't choose like the situation you're born into, and like racism is a thing, and like socioeconomic status is a thing. Some people definitely get given more opportunities from either like their race or where they're born or whatever. And like we can always look for the reason that something won't work, or you can look for the reason that something does work. Like some of the most successful people in the world grew up in like really poor like situations, or they didn't have all the resources, or someone told them they were stupid, or they told them that they didn't believe in them. And those people didn't let that affect them. They were just like, no, like I'm gonna go do this thing. And they went and did the thing. So, of course, like acknowledging that that is a reality for a lot of people, but also acknowledging that your mind is super powerful. Like, I mean, the whole like nature versus nurture debate in psychology, I think, is so fascinating. And I love that like we learned so much about this at school, because it's so true. Like, it's like, yes, you are born into a certain circumstance, but then how you're raised and the beliefs that you start to form, that really forms the basis of like what your reality will be like. And you can change a lot of that. You can change what you believe. Like epigenetics is really about how, like, with genetics, like, yes, you are born with certain genes, but that doesn't mean that those genes are going to express, and the determinant is your environmental factors. And this is one of the things about how, with medicine, how it really frustrates me, how they're always looking for like an addiction gene or a depression gene. It's like, just because you have a gene for something is not a guarantee that that gene is going to express. So bringing it back to what I was talking about before is like, well, yes, the circumstances that you are born into, they do play a role. I'm not going to lie and say that they don't. But the thing is like, you also have a lot of power and control about how you respond to your circumstances. Like, this is what we use twin studies for. It's like you have identical twins, and if you raise them in like different environments, and you see like how much of it is genetics and how much of it is their environment, and it's actually like your environment can play such a huge role in how those genetics express, and like how you show up, and the beliefs you create, and so on and so forth. So what I really wanted to like drive home for you is like, if you want to manifest abundance into your life, if you want to create like a really exceptional life for yourself, you need to stop hating on people who have what you have. You need to start looking for, like, if you really want to hate on somebody for having money, like, hate on like all the people that like Epstein and like Ghislaine Maxwell were hiding and protecting. Like, these are all like super powerful people with lots of money and positions of power. Let's hate on them because they're actually genuinely doing something evil. Not actually hate on them, because I think hate is not it's not a vibration I want to spend a lot of time in. It's not a feeling I really want to spend a lot of time in. Those people definitely are more worthy of like anger on the internet than like an influencer who is simply like using the resources that she's accumulated through her life. So really, if you take anything away from this, I just want you to know and remember that, like, hating on someone who has what you want is never going to get you the thing. So, and also it's like, you have the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else, so it's kind of like, are you going to use those hours to hate on someone on the internet, or you could be using those hours to build yourself something that you were like excited and proud about, or like work on building your own wealth or your own business instead of hating somebody on the internet. So yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you. So it's like, just, it's funny because sometimes I think like I teach on in my course, like Money Manifestation Mastery, like it really is a great crash course for learning about like the basics of how to develop a healthy money mindset around money and like the energetics around it. And sometimes with that course I'm like, oh, like sometimes I kind of get in on myself and I'm like, are the concepts too basic? Like, surely everyone knows this by this point in time. But then by reading the comment section, I was like, wow, everyone definitely does not know this, because if you knew that, you wouldn't waste time hating on something if you want that thing. Like, because that just tells your mind that it's not safe to have that thing, and other people are going to ostracize you if you have that thing, and so on and so forth. So yes, definitely, like, show your mind. Like, if you see somebody and they have something you want and you feel really triggered by, like, why do they get to have that thing, it's a really great time to start, like, looking at, like, okay, like, what would it take for me to have that kind of wealth? What kind of a mindset does that person have? How can I be inspired by them? How do they show up in the world? Like, modeling is really how we learn behavior. So it's like your mind is kind of like unconsciously, like, always sort of seeking to, like, mirror the behavior of the people in your sort of sphere, I would say, because it kind of sees that as normal. And it's like, the more you expand your mind into a wider, like, vision of what's possible for it, and you're like, oh look, mind, like, we can actually go and do this thing, or look at this person and look how they've created their life and how they show up, and how could I do that too? And so it's just a really good way of using modeling in a really positive way for yourself, by being like, I want, like, I think it also happens a bit unconsciously. Sometimes you're not, like, super like, oh, I see them doing this, I'm going to do this. Sometimes it is, because have you ever noticed, like, when we get into social situations and we're sort of, like, unsure of what to do, we'll look at the people around us to sort of see, like, oh, what's everyone else doing? Like, what's the norm in this situation? Like, how is everyone else behaving? And so we can actually use that to our advantage. If you're trying to, like, up-level your life, you can sort of look at how other people who have that thing, how they're showing up, how they're behaving, what their belief system is. We're going for a real glowy look today, guys. I'm just very obsessed with this highlighter from Benefit. I just want to, like, have that lit within, like, glowy look. Since I started using, this is such a sidebar, but since I started using the Kosas Skin Improving Foundation, my skin, I don't know if you can tell, it's pretty bright, so it's a bit blown up. It has been so good. Also, since I've been taking my herbs from the naturopath for probably like a month and a half now, I've been taking NAC. Those were really the only things that I changed. Like, I eat quite well. I don't eat, like, a lot of sugar. Are we done? No, we need to do eyeliner. I don't eat a lot of sugar, and I was always struggling with acne, and it was driving me insane, because I was just like, well, what am I supposed to be doing different? Like, even when I was living in Byron and I was, like, surfing every day, and I wasn't really wearing very much makeup, so it was like, it's not from the makeup I'm wearing. I'm not really wearing any. I was just wearing, like, a tinted moisturizer, and almost done. And then also, the secret to, if you live in Australia or a hot country, the secret to getting your makeup to stay is multiple layers of setting spray. I put the Charlotte Tilbury one in this nano mister, which has actually been amazing because it doesn't bother your makeup at all. It's, like, so light. It's such a fine spray. You don't get, like, those wet spots that sometimes you get with, like, a regular pump, and you can get right up in there. And I just find it sets your makeup so well. Like, I'll do a couple layers of that in between, like, as I'm going through, and then I'll set it with, like, a powder, and, like, it just doesn't budge, which, like, really shocked me because it's a liquid foundation. I used to only use, like, a powder in summer because of that. And sorry. Yeah, so that's the secret. If you really want your foundation to last all day in a hot climate, multiple layers of setting spray. The Charlotte Tilbury one is, like, insane. It's one of the best I ever used. I used to use... Oops, I'm so sorry, the battery died. I hadn't charged it in a little while, so I was wondering when it was going to run out. But yeah, basically, so that's me ready for the day. Done. I'm going to put on earrings because your girl loves a pair of gold hoops. What was I saying before, though? I can't remember. Basically, sum it up. like model the people who have the success that you want. Like really look at, like, dig into what their mindset is, dig into like what are they doing that's working for them. Like this is really where you're gonna start to see like the gaps between like where you are and where you want to be, because often it is like the biggest thing that has to shift first is your mindset. It's the way that you're showing up, and then only when you show up and you embody that version of the self that you want to be, that has the thing that you want to have, usually the thing shows up then too. Like, of course, you have to be working towards it, like taking action, but a lot of the time it comes down to more who you are being, and that's going to determine like what you have. So yeah, definitely take notes, and if you want to build abundance and wealth in your life, don't hate on the people who have it. So I'm gonna go just like finish getting ready, and I will see you guys later. So Magic of I sent me a new package, which I'm so excited to open up. I don't actually know what is in here, so you guys are going to see with me. And of course, you can always use my Magic of I discount code, which is just my name. It's Kim Akrigg. That saves you 10% off of everything on their website. They just make like the best gifts. Like if you have a friend in your life who like is kind of spiritual, loves astrology, like is kind of into the woo, this is honestly like the best gift I think you could give someone, because one, they're super beautiful to look at. I remember when I first found them, it was like, I think it was like 2017, I instantly saved it to my vision board because they're just so beautiful to look at. And also, if you want to learn about astrology, every single one has like, it's basically like a mini book in the beginning that teaches you about all the planets, all the signs, how they all work together. And their new planner this year has like an astromycology edition added to it. I'll see if I can find that and show that to you as well, but it is in one of my other videos, where basically they talk about the medicinal mushrooms that you can use to support yourself through the energy of those seasons, which I'm just so obsessed with. So let's get into this package. We'll see what's in here. Oh my god. Okay, yes. So they also have, I don't know if you can see it, like they have like a mini planner. So if you're the kind of person who likes to carry your planner around in like a bag, or maybe you just don't want it to take up a ton of space on your desk, these are the best ever. They're so cute. They make like a great stocking stuffer, and they have all the same features. Like, look at the cover. Is that not like so beautiful? I don't know if it's gonna focus, but they have all the same features as like the full-size planners. Oh, and this one has like the whole, it has like the astromycology info as well. I think that's going to be blurry, unfortunately, but I'll do a closer up shot so you can see. But yeah, it's just basically like their big planner, but in a small size. And of course, you can always get black and white. And this year for the planners, they actually added this beautiful sage green, which I'm super obsessed with. I'm starting to really like green. I am very much like a black and white kind of girl for most things in my life, but I do actually really like the green of this planner. I think it's really like, it's almost like a neutral, like it matches a lot of things, which I'm a big fan of. So yeah, definitely a fun gift, and amazing if you want to just combine like learning to work with astrology with what you're doing on the day-to-day. One of my favorite things about it is they have like a daily guide in here that will tell you sort of like what the aspect or the energy or flavor of that day is. So even if you don't maybe necessarily understand how to read astrology for every single day of like what the planets are doing, they have like a little quick start guide in here that will basically break it down for you and tell you like, let me just find a few. So there's like, one of them's like Diamond Mind, where basically on those kind of days, it's great for like mental clarity, communication, organization skills, caffeine for learning. So it'll just like give you a little like, if you're, say you're planning a launch or something, and you're like, oh, is this going to be a good day to do that? Like what's kind of the vibe and the energy of the day? Spoiler alert, do not plan a launch in Mercury retrograde. Like anything that can go wrong
they will go wrong, and I'm telling you this from experience. And also, you're just not going to be able to communicate in the way that you want to. So if you take nothing away from this video except for that, don't launch anything in Mercury retrograde if you can help it. But I love this because it just kind of, it lets you know what's a good time to like do something, what's a good time for this, like what energy is going to really support you. And even if you don't, maybe you're not super tuned into this and you're like, Kim, I don't know about that. Even if you look at the moon controls the tides on our planet, and even it has been actually well documented that at a full moon, more crazy stuff in the world happens. Like ER rooms are usually busier, crime rates sometimes go up. So like the planetary bodies, they do affect us in ways that maybe we're not aware of. So I just think, like, why not use this information that has been studied for thousands and thousands of years to utilize it to work more efficiently in your life and to basically stop feeling like you're pushing up a hill. Like, I think we all know, like, when we're in the feeling of flow, when things feel easy, it's just way more harmonious to get whatever you're trying to do done, whereas sometimes you're like, the vibe is just wrong. And so this just really helps you get in front of that so you can plan a little bit more in advance. So yes, that was the magic of eye order. Let's see what else came. I think I know what these are. I'm pretty sure these are the flower remedies from... I really love this packaging, but at the same time, it's really hard to open without making a giant mess. Like, I love that it's recyclable, but cardboard just ends up going everywhere. Yes, these are the Alexis Smart Flower Remedies. So I think I mentioned these in my supplement video briefly, but I'll just give you like a little closer look. Oh, it's going to be blurry. But basically, flower remedies are like a homeopathic remedy, and so they work on like a vibrational level, and the way that you're supposed to use them is you choose the remedy that sort of fits how you're feeling in the present moment, and so basically it helps you balance your energy and sort of get into the frequency of shifting out of whatever that is. So the ones I really like and I have been taking for a little while now is Alexis Smart's collaboration with 2B Magnetic. So basically, the two I got were expanded and unblocked. I'd been taking unblocked for 2 months, and Alexis really recommends that if you have been taking a remedy for 1 month and you see really big shifts, take it for 3 months just to like really lock in and like pull out any of the old energies and really lock in those new frequencies. And I really liked Unblocked. I did it for 2 months. I felt like a completely different person afterwards. Just like so much like just feeling a deeper sense of being in my worth, more confidence. I was like really on my manifestation flow. Like I would be putting stuff out there and it would just show up really quickly. I was winning a lot of giveaways. Like I was just really in a good flow of like attracting things that I wanted to me. And then after that, I did 2 months of expanded, which is kind of like once you've unblocked, you want to go to that next level. You want to expand your vision for yourself. That's really what this one was about. And that one was amazing. Like after finishing uni this year, I was very much in it was kind of like a weird cocoon phase because I was like, I feel like I should be doing something. I don't really know what I should be doing. But it definitely kind of like helped me expand. It's like lean into my vision of what I really want to do next year. I don't know if you choose a word for a year, but I have been doing that every year. This year, my word was mastery, and I really feel like I dug into those vibes. Like, I was definitely like, okay, I'm just going to take everything I'm working on and just take it to that next level. Like, I really want to like master the things that I'm working on instead of always like starting something new, which I can definitely be prone to at times. And I really feel like does anyone achieve mastery? No, it's more of like an intention and something that you want to fulfill. But it was, to me, it meant just trying to do things at the highest level possible that I could. And so my word for next year is technically 2 words, but my words for next year are next level. So I really just want to take everything that I'm growing in my life and my business and with uni and like all my goals and just really like take it to that next level, like expand my vision for what's possible for me. So if you have a word for the year, let me know what it is in the comments below. I would love to hear what yours was.
Okay, I just wanted to show you how beautiful, oh look, there's my new Christmas nails. We wanted to do like a little, sort of like a velvet effect and a snowflake. The snowflake did not turn out as good as I would have liked, but hey, it was a learning experience. So just a little peek inside. Look at how beautiful that cover is. Like, it's got this gold embossed like foil, and I just think they're so beautiful. Like, you could leave it on your desk, you could leave it around, and it, like, they just look so stunning. And not to mention the inside of them, like, if I could like live in this print, I would. I just think it's so beautiful. And they got a little poem that sort of just tells you about everything that is going on, which I think is super cute. How to use this planner. You can drop in your own birth chart if you want to. Here's like, it tells you how to work with the moon daily, how to use the calendar aspects. Learning about aspects is really like the next level in astrology. Like, once you learn about like your sun sign and your moon sign and all the things, like learning about aspects is really going to help you understand how like the energy of those planets, really like the synergy of how they work together on those days. It's just really taking it to the next level. Here's the optimum times guide that I was sort of telling you about, where it sort of just gives you a quick start guide on what's the energy of each day. And so when you actually look at the days, it'll be like down there, and it just sort of tells you like what's the vibe for that day, what's the moon doing, what sign the moon is in, and that tells you all the aspects if you want to sort of start learning a little bit more about them and going a bit deeper. You've got like, it's just like basically a book as well about learning how to work with astrology, which I am all about. And then we've got like all our signs, parts of the body that it rules. Like, it's just such an incredible, beautiful tool and resource. I really love these planners. I've been using them since 2017, and every year I'm just like so blown away by how beautiful they are, and I just really love seeing them on my desk. And of course you can get like matching journals as well, so you could either get like the same color or a contrasting color. There is a pink one as well, and they come in all of these colors too.